my god.
Whoa!
Guys!
Whoa!
Oh my god!
I
hear one of you playing back
to
a little bit.
Lethal.
October 23rd, 2023. It's been less than 3 months since Lethal Company has been launched. But in that time, this indie title managed to become the top-rated game on Steam for 2023. To give you an idea of how huge that is, it managed to beat games like Resident Evil 4, which have been loved by fans for years, and was ahead of Baldur's Gate 3, which won Game of the Year. It quickly climbed to averaging more than 100,000 players by December, and its player count is comparable to giants like Apex Legends, PUBG, and Rust. With this level of success, chances are that even if you haven't played the game yourself, you've seen a big creator stream it or one of your friends talk about it. But that begs the question, just how did this game rise to the heights of popularity in such a short span of time, and what makes the game so special? This is the story of how one developer completely shattered the gaming industry. This is the story of Lethal Company. The first thing that we need to understand about its success is how it managed to interest a huge audience of players. What made it appealing to the hundreds of thousands of people that watch or play the game? For one, it's a co-op game. Not that being a co-op game makes you successful automatically, but we need to consider that it really helps in getting a lot of people playing the game. No one likes to play a multiplayer game on their own, so if I saw it on Steam and thought it looked interesting, I'd also ask my friends if any of them want to buy it too. This is helped greatly by the fact that if you go on Steam to buy it, you'd see that it's a cheap $10. And for a price that low, you're getting a game that can be played for hundreds of hours with your best friends. And I'm not joking when I say hundreds of hours. After games like Hades and Dead Cells, which popularized the roguelike genre of procedurally generated maps, Lethal Company borrows those very same elements to make it feel new to the player every time. You can very well argue that no two experiences can be the same, something which is made even better by the fact that you will be facing different monsters trying to chase you every time you play. The monsters you meet are highly influenced by SCPs, something which a lot of the audience is familiar with. There's an opponent known as the Coilhead, who is based on the most well-known SCP, SCP-173. It even obeys the same rules. If you look at it, it doesn't move, but if you don't look at it, it snaps your neck. And the other monsters can be terrifying in a variety of ways, such as facehuggers on the roof. Instead of attempting to be groundbreaking, it is designed to be extremely enjoyable to play with friends. This game excels at delivering horror by effectively utilizing the moments between interactions with monsters to wrench up the tension, only being released with another terrifying encounter each time you enter the facility. You are constantly at risk of dying. With the very limited means to defend yourself, it captures the essence of vulnerability to perfection. It's up to you to learn how to utilize the tools you are given in order to survive and meet an ever-expanding quota. In summation, Lethal Company hits the mark on what it takes to go viral. A simplistic art style with character designs that are easy to market, and a fun repetitive game loop that relies on in-game communication through proximity chat and radios. And it being only $10 makes it that much more accessible. Lethal Company knows what it wants to be, and that makes the experience so much more better. It truly feels like a game made to be enjoyed rather than a product made to be bought. With such a fun gameplay loop, it got enough love to be nominated as the Game of the Year. Such an honor is given to very few games, and a game that has just been released getting nominated for this huge of a title is unheard of. Which is where we come to the most perplexing part of the story. Lethal Company is made by just one person who took some help from friends for voice lines and game testing. But how did this one person make a game that is now competing with giants in the industry? His name is Zeekerss. When you first hear it, it kind of sounds like a team name, but behind that name is a 21-year-old person who has always had a passion for making games. If you take a look at their Twitter, you'd find them to be pretty active. They have discussions about video games, dramas, recent events, alongside updates on them progressing in game design. And when you look at his YouTube channel, you can see his old Roblox and Minecraft videos that he made when he was a kid. And if you really go into the detail, you'd start to notice that it was these exact videos that became the building blocks which led him to make the video games today. Just consider the fact that he used to develop maps for Roblox before he started to learn Unity. At age 10, when most people are busy playing games and willing away their time, this kid was focused on improving his skills. Zeekerss continued to make Roblox maps for years in his youth. Then, in 2019, Zeekerss made his first Steam game titled Welcome to the Dark Place, but it never got successfully greenlit, so it never released. Then, in 2020, he released a game named It Steals on itch.io. This is also his first game ever made on Unity. Zeekerss followed the game up with Drive Home and another game named Dead Cedar. where Zeekerss would upload trailers and reactions to his games. But none of these were home runs in comparison to what would come next. On July 8th, 2022, Zeekerss would upload a teaser for a game he was now working on called Lethal Company. For the following year, Zeekerss would continue to develop the game, also leaving notes in his Discord server and on Twitter about the game's progress. Lethal Company was inspired by a critique that Zeekerss had for Phasmophobia, which was its proximity chat. Eventually on February 17th, 2023, Zeekerss would also add a walkie-talkie item to Lethal Company that only took him 5 hours to make. But then, Zeekerss ran into a problem with Lethal Company due to drama with the game's engine. It was back in 2015 that Zeekerss would begin to learn the Unity engine so that he could make games outside of Roblox. Even 2 years later, in 2017, Zeekerss was learning more and more about the Unity engine. Eventually, his games were all made in Unity. But in September this year, the Unity engine had a big controversy. The controversy was that if any game made with the Unity engine passed a certain installation and revenue threshold, the developer would start to get charged a fee for every time the game was downloaded. Zeekerss would respond to this various times in September, even mentioning that they plan to start learning Unreal. They feared that Unity would continue to be unreliable and eventually force them to add ads in their game. They even released a tweet on September 17th, 2023, saying that the contract changed instantly, while their games took years to build, and that they were willing to remove all of their games if things did not improve. After the statement, Zeekerss would also post his progress on learning the Epic Games Unreal Engine. Even with Roblox, Zeekerss would progress to finish Lethal Company on the Unity engine. And today, we all can see its amazing success. Just think about it. This single dude managed to make a game that is considered to be better than the latest Call of Duty. But something is still missing. Sure, Lethal Company is a great game, and the person behind it is great as well, but we still don't know why it managed to be so successful so quickly. Though when you think about it, the answer is really simple. This isn't the first time an indie co-op game has exploded, and the last time we saw it in full force was from 2 other games, Phasmophobia and Among Us. Before all the memes and posts, do you want to know why Among Us was so successful? It was successful because it was a simple party game. It was made to cause drama and start arguments amongst friends who played the game. It required communication, which made it even more engaging. It was simple, but had a fun, repetitive game loop, and Phasmophobia had a similar lightning in a bottle success. It was a game that was released around Halloween, where you had to find out what ghost was haunting whatever location you chose to play at, and the only way to communicate was through proximity chat and radios. Lethal Company completely fits the party game vibe of Among Us and Phasmophobia. Players need to work together, strategize, and assist each other, creating a shared purpose. As players navigate the game's environments and face its challenges, they need to communicate effectively. This could involve warning each other about dangers, coordinating movements, or simply reacting to the game's events. This focus on the people you're playing the game with allows for so many funny and interesting moments with friends. It's very easy for not only people to share their own funny moments with each other, but also for big creators to stream it and enjoy it with their audience too. It's a game that can truly be enjoyed by anyone and everyone. But what makes Lethal Company truly successful is the fact that it feels like a game. A lot of video games that are released in today's time are often half-baked and filled with microtransactions. Some games feel almost predatory, designed to make you pay as much as possible. In such a landscape of games where the industry standard is to either churn out repetitive games that are bought just because of nostalgia, or promise an innovative title that never comes, a game like Lethal Company feels true to the spirit of gaming. After all, who wouldn't want to spend a nice evening just chilling with their friends and enjoying the time they spend gaming? Zeekerss has always had his vision for the project clear, something which is clearly reflected by the price tag. He wants the game to remain affordable so anyone can play it and enjoy the game. I'm sure many people would be willing to pay the normal $30 to $60 for a game like this, but instead of running after profit, Zeekerss is focused on making the game the best it can possibly be. And so, on the 2nd of January 2024, when the Stream Awards were wrapped up, Lethal Company won the Better with Friends award, because ultimately, what people care the most about is having a good time. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for more videos like these.